So what kind of person are you in a Q&A session when the speaker asks, "Now we're going to open up for questions. Who has a question?" Check which one of these apply to you. Number 1, you open up the Q&A session with the first question. Number 2, you wait for others to ask a few questions and then you ask your question. Number 3, you wait until the end of the session and then go find the speaker to ask your question. Number 4, you usually don't really have questions to ask. So in this video, I'm going to cover 6 reasons to be the first one to ask a question in the Q&A session. Asking a question is like a mini public speaking engagement when there's a lot of people. The emotional roller coaster and the adrenaline takes over. It's scary and exciting at the same time. Here's a sequence of emotions that you may experience. Overthinking your delivery performance, trembling and not knowing if you should shout or speak out loud or take the microphone, fearing evaluation and judgment from others. Now, research suggests women speak up significantly less than men in conferences and gatherings. And it's really unfortunate because questions by women are a lot more likely to be in the minds of other women in the audience. Women may also have a different perspective than men on the topic. So here are 7 reasons to participate and to be the first one to ask a question in that Q&A session. Number 1, you exercise your question asking muscle. So next time you need it, it's not as difficult to do. Number 2, it helps you build confidence. When you take action despite your fears, you realize those fears are not real. You realize that you're perfectly capable. You realize that others value your questions. Number 3, it helps networking. There hasn't been a single time I asked a question and wasn't approached at least by one person at the end to comment that they liked my question and start a conversation. If you're afraid of approaching unknown people in these type of events, or if you don't have a conversation starter, this can be a great one. You don't need to do anything. Others will do it for you. You already gave them a bait to come after. 4, the speaker notices you. At the end of the session, there are usually a lot of people agglomerating around the speaker, competing for their time. Sometimes the speaker just leaves right after the talk and you miss out on the opportunity, on the chance of interaction. The speaker will also be a lot more likely to remember you, especially if you ask the very first question, because they also have a Q&A anxiety, because they fear that no one is going to ask a question, that no one's going to care about their session and presentation. 5, you feel more engaged. Even the best presentations can be boring. In this era of continuous digital stimulation, it's hard for anyone to focus 30 minutes or 1 hour on a lecture. When you decide that you're going to ask a question, you become more alert during the presentation. Your brain engages in the content as you seek associations and gaps to question later. This keeps you alert and increases your learning. 6, less competition. It usually takes a few seconds after the Q&A opens for the first courageous person to put their hands up. But towards the middle to the end of the Q&A, there are usually a lot of people with questions. At that point, you have a lot of competition to get your question through. Number 7, less to worry about. You don't need to listen to and process every question you answer that comes before you in light of the already nervous activity of coming up with your own questions and speaking up. I've seen this many times before, same questions being asked because the person wasn't listening, right? They were formulating questions in their mind. To avoid that risk of repeating and that added complexity, just ask first. So even though some Q&As are now done via the internet, the traditional stand up and speak up is still the norm. It takes some getting used to, the pre-participation chills, but the rewards of connection and confidence boost afterwards. Make it worth it every single time. Therefore, strive for early participation, not for question perfection. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Is a quote from Mark Twain. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this talk. So for more resource information on confident, candid, and caring conversations, check out assertiveway.com. I'll see you next time.